Jeff Probst is here. We're so happy to say congratulations.
Hi.
Jeff Probst.
Hi.
Oh, he's so sexy. Come in here, sexy Jeff Probst.
Hi, how are you? Good morning.
You know, you've been to so many exotic islands. I feel like when we touch you, we probably caught some weird disease.
From me?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's quite possible. Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Finally, I've been wanting to get in here for so long, and it's finally working out.
Nice.
I felt Survivor love all morning from the moment I walked through the doors.
Well, let me tell you, you have some big fans here. That's Max the dog, by the way.
Hi, Max.
Hey, Max. Max, every once in a while, during the course of the interview, will stop down and lick himself. So just be ready for that. And you can do the same.
I was going to say something we have in common already.
We can all lick each other. Jeff, I don't know. First of all, we have to say congratulations.
Thank you.
We were doing this show. We've been doing this show for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And we remember going on board and being huge fans on night one of Survivor.
Really?
Because you know what? That was a whole different time in TV and the way we get our video content. I mean, you had to watch that night.
Yeah.
And we all watched that night. Do you remember that first episode of Survivor 17 years ago?
I do. I weirdly that you say that. I remember the TV I had. And I remember turning it around because I had like 10 friends over. And
it was like an 800-pound TV.
Yes. And
Right.
it was only not very big. You know, it was 30 inches or something. And
Right.
so we were all, and I was wanting to make sure the volume was going to be up when it finally came on versus now where you can, you have your surround sound or your whatever. But yeah, I remember that. I also remember the finale and having people tell me later, the windows were, especially in Manhattan, that the windows were open and you could hear people yelling out their windows.
It's true.
He won. Richard Hatch won.
It's true.
We hated him.
Yeah.
I know, but and we were talking earlier, Jeff, about how that was really our first experience in reality TV to hate someone. The only people we hated in the past were scripted characters that were written to be hated. He wrote his own script, and he was truly hated.
And you know what was the lesson for us was there was this other guy, I don't know if you remember, Rudy, 72-year-old Navy SEAL. There couldn't be a better first winner than that.
Right.
And all he had to do was hold on to this idol till the end of time. And he scratches his head and takes his hand off. And in that moment, all of us on location went, the show just died.
Wow.
This guy,
You really
Richard
thought
Hatch,
it was done?
Oh, the worst guy ever is going to win. He's a terrible representative. No one's ever going to watch again. No idea that. Thank God for Richard Hatch.
Wow.
He turned everything on its head.
Now, wait, you knew a different Richard Hatch than we saw, because obviously in the editing process, they probably make him look a little bit worse.
No.
Really?
No.
Was he that bad?
Richard was, Richard was, to his credit, ahead of his time. In that he's never been able to match his success because he happened to be. No one understood what Survivor was. They thought they were going to go survive. Hatch was the only guy that realized this is about politics, and once I get enough people to vote with me, I can dominate how it goes.
Wow.
But no, he was arrogant, and he would tell you that, and he would take his clothes off because he knew it would make you uncomfortable. He didn't really care what he looked like.
And that's how you win the game, or one way to win the game.
That was a long time ago.
And so you've watched Survivor evolve. And so, I mean, just off the top of your head, how is Survivor different 34 seasons in, 17 years later than it was season one?
Well, in some ways, dramatically different because the game is really, if you're a Survivor fan, there's a lot of strategy about how you play people and who you play and when do you make your move and how many people do you want on the jury that you know and how many that you didn't know and that you pissed off and you didn't.
And plus, these people have been studying all these other winners.
Right.
So it all evolves.
It all evolves. Yeah, I think that's it, is it evolves. One group of people play and you go, that was interesting. I'll try some of that and put my spin on it. So it does evolve. But on the other hand, there are still a couple of core principles.
What are they?
They are when you're lost, when you're abandoned on an island. It's no different than when you're a little kid and you're lost in the grocery store or you take a wrong turn into a neighborhood and you go, I got off on the wrong exit. I don't know where I am. I'm out of my comfort zone. And getting voted off is the same as being picked last for dodgeball or a pickup basketball game. There's those fundamental things of I'm uncomfortable, unfamiliar, and you don't like me. You could have gotten rid of anyone. And people justify, well, because I was a threat and I was so likable and I'm so physically gifted. But the truth is, you're the one walking off, not me.
You know what? It's not I had great advice from a boss once, and I don't know if it could apply to Survivor. Life is not a popularity contest. It isn't. Life is living your life, and sometimes you have to do things that make you unpopular. But in Survivor, you have to be popular until the very end. Then you become a total a-hole, basically.
It's really interesting what you just said. I mean, I'm thinking about my own life that I need a little less of that needing to be liked. Because you're right. No one's keeping score except me, and I'm only keeping it against myself. Nobody else cares.
Let's talk about you.
But just to your point about whether Survivor is popularity, it's evolving. But I wonder, there is something there about if you aren't aware, if you don't have any self-awareness, and if you aren't aware that perception is reality to the perceiver. I say this all the time because I feel like it's so obvious. If I think you're an idiot, you can tell me all day you're not. I just told you I think you're an idiot. It seems like the better move is to go, okay, Probst thinks I'm an idiot, which means he thinks this of me. I've got to persuade him I'm not an idiot through my actions and getting back on my side versus defend.
Well, this is my point about you in life. What life lessons have you learned? I think you sort of answered the question. What life lessons have you learned without maybe being conscious about them from this game Survivor? What can we all learn from it, man?
Well, the first one I remember learning was in Kenya, Africa, and we lived in these little tents, individual tents, and there was no hierarchy. Mark Burnett's tent was right next to mine, next to the next guy, and if you had to go to the bathroom, you just got up in the middle of the night, unzipped your tent, hope there wasn't a weird animal out there, and peed.
So you don't get like a sweet setup or anything?
There really aren't sweet setups in most of the places we
were
go.
led to believe you were always right up the street from a Four Seasons resort.
Yeah.
Like an Amman resort is right next door.
Cambodia, Four Seasons Cambodia. Yeah,
so you're
exactly.
You're not staying at the.
No, everyone thinks that because if you were a scripted show, if you were NCIS and you're on your 17th year, your trailer would be a block long and you'd have 6 assistants.
You just get a nicer treehouse.
Sort of. I mean, I'm not going to we've been in tents and then we've had better places and then we've been to not like Cambodia was really hard on the crew in so many ways. And then Fiji, where we're at now, is actually really nice.
Right.
But it's nice in terms of island living. If you're somebody that's thinking it is, all jokes aside, like a Four Seasons, no. Nowhere close.
But have you ever been there and gone, I'm not doing this. I'm walking. I can't. I can't live in this tent.
Obviously,
so I can't do it.
You've been driven to the end every once in a while.
Yeah.
Your patience has been tried in all these crazy locations. I'm assuming. What's the worst thing that ever happened to you that made you go, you know what?
I'm done.
This is my last season. This is it. I'm done.
It's never been the show. It's just been my own. Like you asked about me, what have I learned? I think I've learned that I don't know that you have to. Sometimes I need my own perspective. There were a couple times just where I felt like, God, I've done this show so long. I'm really tired of being away from home. I'm tired of coming out here. I don't even know if I have anything new to add to it anymore. And the second that I can't add anything new, somebody else should do it because it's a cool format and I don't want to mess it up. And then my friends would go, yeah, let's sit down and talk about this for a minute, Jeff.
Yeah, please. Translation agent. By the way, if you're just turning us on, Jeff Probst is here. Next Wednesday, the 500th episode of Survivor, which has survived for 34 seasons, 17 years. It's just pretty amazing.
It is crazy to hear you say 500 episodes.
Well, you know what? We have something in common with you. As I said, this show, we've been together for over 20 years.
You started just before us, a couple of years before us.
3 or 4 years before you guys. And so, I mean, every once in a while, you get those thoughts, especially at the end of a contract or whatever. We know, let's go out on top. Let's just end it all now. We really had a great time, and there's nothing wrong with walking away. But you have stayed with it. I'm sure you've had many opportunities to do other things, but you decided to stay with it. There's something that draws you back season after season, Jeff. And how can we apply this to our lives? What is it that you're finding in life that you're loving so much?
I love human behavior. I love humans. I love people. I am the guy in our group who, if you're a part of our community, you're going to share or you're not going to be in our group. It's just you don't come into our little circle and not share your deepest whatevers because I'm not interested in surface and I will often say things that will embarrass me or maybe unintentionally offend somebody, but I'd rather have my truth be known than be feckless and just like, gee, whatever you think. Everyone, no. And wow, almost just did it.
No, but you caught yourself. That's
I know,
great.
but 10 points for the use of the word feckless.
Well, it's because, so you ask what it is about this show. I like people, I respect the people that something is burning inside them and they don't know what it is. And it goes beyond wanting to be on TV because Survivor is no joke, man. It just destroys people.
I can see that.
And they want it. They want it.
Well,
And
sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah.
We have listeners texting in saying how many different contestants have faked family deaths to get out, to try to leave.
Yeah, getting out of a Survivor show
votes,
or
yeah.
just to get out. I mean,
a few people, yeah. A few people have, and it's rare now. I think our casting has really been really good, but there have been times, well, like Jimmy Johnson, the football coach, was on, and it was clear after 4 episodes. He kind of looked around and went, "Yep, done it. I've had a big life. Don't really need this. I've got a boat somewhere in Florida." And it's one of those, yeah, you guys can vote me out. But that rarely happens anymore. It's mostly people, it's like day 6 or 7, they will suffer. And they'll usually, in an interview, when we sit them down to do interviews, they'll tell the producer, "Man, I'm really struggling right now. I'm starving. I'm missing home." And usually just talking to our producers who are so empathetic and good with people, and they tell them, "You're not alone. Everyone goes through this. This is the bottom. Tomorrow's going to be better." And man, the next day they're like, "I'm in to win."
Wow.
And they leave going, "Greatest thing I've ever done," no matter how they do, because they've lived in the rain with the bugs, off rice, trying to catch fish, trying to make a fire, trying to build shelter. It's
that's
not
the whole
easy.
thing, and that's why we love Survivor, is because surviving isn't easy. And I'm trying to, in a weird roundabout way, trying to make this more of a global thing for all of us.
Yeah, I know.
I want to walk a
circling
takeaway here because we have business to get to here, Jeff Probst.
We do?
We have work to do.
Oh.
We have work to do. I'm sorry to break this to you. What is it we need to do? This show is teaching us, and maybe we're not getting it, to survive in this world
as humans.
As humans,
Yeah.
What is it that we can learn off? Let's be honest. It's a TV show.
Yeah.
And this is just a radio show.
Yeah.
But there's a bigger message here. And in your opinion, what is the message from Survivor, Jeff Probst, that can help us all survive this crazy world we live in? And it is a crazy, effed up world.
I should have prepped on that one.
Yeah, no pressure.
I know what you're asking. That's a big question. What is it we're supposed to learn? I only know from me, and I'm not trying to avoid it. I'm trying to find it as we're talking. You asked me what attracted me to the show. Human behavior.
Right.
Justifiable ethics. I did this because. And what I've learned about myself over the years is I have to own my stuff. And so maybe that's one part of it, is if everybody in your community, whether it's your little neighborhood or your country, owned their stuff and said, "All right, that one's on me, my bad," and just led with kindness. I mean, if I were going to be on Survivor, I'd lead with kindness. I would still vote you out. It's a game. And I'd say, "Look, we're playing a game, but I'm going to lead with kindness." You can never go wrong if you just say, "How you doing today?" Yeah. Look, we're still playing the game. I'm just saying good morning. I am trying to get rid of you, but good morning. That's what I like to see in my life. This is my life. I want to have a good time. I can be a raging dick. I mean, I can be tough to work with. I can be hard on people in the show, at tribal council. That's all fair. But in my heart, I'm a good person. I want you to have a good time. I hope this is good for you.
And there's your life lesson. That's why the last episode of Survivor is always important, because you see these people who have been wanting to kill each other for a season actually hug each other and go, "All right, we all get it now."
Yeah, and we all went through it together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easier question. How bad does it smell?
Yeah, people stink.
Yeah, they do.
Do they start to stink?
Yeah, and Danielle, what's weird is that they smell consistently the same.
What could describe the smell of a survivor?
Well, there is if it were wine, you would say, there's a hint of campfire, which is kind of cool, right?
Little cat pee in there.
Yeah, it's the cat pee that's been in the gym locker. And you went over Christmas break, and then you came back and you opened the locker and went, "Oh my God, I left my."
There's the smell.
Yeah.
Okay, another question on top of Danielle's. Do Survivor contestants ever do each other? I think they have. We've seen that.
Rare.
Really?
So my question really is, how can you do someone that smells like that?
Yeah,
Okay, I don't
exactly.
know, but maybe it's the most animalistic, wonderful thing. You're like, yeah, you smell like a gorilla. I'm going to do you. I don't know.
No, I think it's animal for sure.
It is.
I don't think they smell each other, but there's two things going against it. One, there is at least according to most people, the desire starts to wane because you have no nutrition. You're so consumed with trying to eat or sleep that that part of you is not channeled as much. And we are watching all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Even
So
when
you'd
they
have
go
to be.
potty?
He said they
unzipped their tent.
Yeah, well.
Well, no, that was the crew. That was the crew.
I just like the visual. Pardon me while I unzip my tent.
No, but here's the rule on going to the bathroom. If you go alone, you're good to go. If you go with somebody, we're going.
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
That's my rule.
You know what,
as
ladies,
well.
we may have that rule here.
Really quickly, yes or no question. Have you been vaccinated against everything at this point?
Pretty much.
You're probably ready to glow in the dark, all the
Yeah.
shots you get.
Yeah, my old passport. Do you remember those yellow? I don't know if you still have them, but there was a yellow thing stapled to it, and it had. We all would look at each other and go, just to your point, like, oh my God, what chemicals do we have in our body?
We have it all.
I've never been sick, so
Jeff
it's
Probst,
working.
if we turn off the lights, he would look like a Christmas tree. All right, we have lots to do, and we're going to be running late here. But just okay. We have uncovered a scandal. You call it reality TV, but we have uncovered the Survivor scandal.
Oh, I'm nervous.
You're always wearing your blue shirt.
Right.
If you look back on probably every episode, you have the same blue shirt on.
Pretty much
every
the
episode.
same shirt.
Who makes that shirt? Why do you love it so much? And
Well-
then I'll reveal the scandal.
Mostly they're from Colombia.
Okay. Great outdoorsman stuff,
Yeah.
rough and tumble shirts.
Right.
Did you know that when he buys them, they're not blue, they're tan?
What?
And Jeff Probst stays up at night, the night before his first night on the island or wherever, and he dyes his tan shirts blue.
Oh.
Seriously?
Yeah, I don't dye them myself. I'm not that talented, but yes.
This is scandal. Why don't you?
I didn't mean to do it.
So,
It's just I hate
okay,
tan.
no, so
Jeff Probst, you will own this.
Is this
own your behavior.
Is this a
Thank you,
vanity
Bethany,
thing?
yes.
You feel you look better in blue?
No.
So you don't wear the tan?
In the first season, we went to Malaysia to do the show. We had no clothes. We're kind of deciding what should the guy who hosts this show wear. So I went into town, Kuala Lumpur, and they had these big, huge shirts. If you look back on them, I look back on them, and among other many ridiculous things I did, it looks like it was my dad's shirt, and I'm 12. It's gigantic. The
Right.
shorts are huge. And then after we were on a couple of years, we started going, man, this is not the most appealing look, and it doesn't pop. There's nothing that says primetime fun. And so we started the wardrobe. We got a woman, and she said, well, look, why don't I dye these and give you a little color?
So you've been dyeing these shirts all along.
Not only dyeing them, but cutting them to fit me because
Look at
they're
that.
huge.
It's the biggest lie in reality TV.
Here's the funny part. I was in Hawaii a couple of years ago, and there is that blue that you're talking about.
Yes,
and
the
it's the same
Jeff
blue.
Probst blue shirt.
Right. I love it. It's Jeff Probst blue. I like that. And so we're in Hawaii, and this guy comes up and he goes, hey, I work for Columbia. I think you might wear our shirts. And I go, yeah, we do. And I go, by the way, no offense, man, why aren't you guys doing something more interesting? Because these shirts are so drab and they're gigantic. Just this year, for the first time in maybe 5 years, we decided to get some new shirts. Columbia now has Survivor Blue.
And they're tailor fitted,
Nice.
slim fit.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but
Yeah, but why wouldn't they just order you a shirt that fit in blue?
because they just cut.
He
This
likes
is what
that
I've
shirt.
learned.
Okay.
He likes that shirt.
That shirt.
Well, no, this is what most people,
Yeah.
they like a Columbia shirt. They want it big and they want it. And
Uh-huh.
if you wear those kind of clothes on TV,
Right.
you look big
Like a
and
tent.
sloppy.
Ah.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Okay.
I love how your idea of a primetime exciting shirt is a blue Columbia shirt. Calm down. All right, we got business to take care of. My assistant, Andrew. Come here, Andrew. Andrew is your biggest biggest fan.
Oh, what's up, dude? How's it going?
So talk. This is your opportunity. Jeff Probst is right here, Andrew.
I love
Hello,
this.
Jeff.
How's it going?
I'm great. This is fantastic.
Show him your necklace. Why didn't you bring it in?
Well, Greg T has my immunity necklace. I
He
got
was
it as a gift.
He was given an
from a
immunity
friend.
necklace
Really?
as a gift from
Yeah,
from
my
a friend.
roommate Josh, he gave me the Survivor immunity necklace, and I have the vote out pen, Jeff.
Wow. I wondered where that. I was looking at it going, that looks just like
I
ours.
have the vote out pen, and I am ready to play Survivor.
He's ready to
Jeff.
play. So how many people like Andrew come up to you every day? You got to get me on. Get me on your
Oh,
show.
yeah, a lot. Yeah, but this is what I would say to Andrew. If you're a fan, why have you not applied yet?
To be honest, I just feel like nervous. I feel like I'm in a sea of different videos.
Then you're not a survivor.
Yeah, Andrew, let's do tribal council.
Yes.
Okay. So, Andrew,
This
you're.
is the best day of my life. I'm so
So
sorry.
I just want to make sure I have this right because I think everybody here is hearing this that you love Survivor.
Yeah.
It's a dream.
Yeah.
You've thought about being on the show,
100%.
and you know what it takes to be on the show, which is what?
I think it's being personable and just being yourself.
Yeah, but beyond that, I mean, you're out here in the elements. You're living.
Yeah.
Tell, what else is Survivor about, Andrew? A super fan who lives and dreams of this show.
I think it's the competition aspect too, as well. I'm looking to do that. I think I've got the whole package.
Right, you've got the whole package, and yet, interestingly, you've not even gotten close to even applying to be on the show you love and want to be on so desperately.
Even our own Samantha, our producer, she applied and she was almost on.
Yeah.
Why can't you do it?
I think you're right.
vote him out.
I've gotten grilled by Jeff Probst, and I will apply with the video.
All right.
I look forward to snuffing your torch. And
Oh
just
my God.
remember this moment right here.
I will, Jeff. I will.
All right,
Also,
thank you.
Outlast, outwit, Andrew.
Andrew, everyone. By the way, if you're just wondering why we're celebrating Jeff Probst, he's celebrating 500 episodes next Wednesday, their 34th season, kicking off with 20 of the game changers from the history of contestants on
Right.
Survivor. So you're going to see these familiar faces that really, including Rupert. You know, our own
No Rupert.
Rupert's not going to be there. Oh,
No
is he-
Rupert.
Is he still alive?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but I will tell you, he lives on in an interview that our own Greg T did.
Really?
But Greg T didn't know how to use the equipment, so listen to Rupert's listen to Rupert's voice in the interview. Greg
When
T
is
did.
this from?
His year.
9 years ago.
Okay.
Listen, Greg T didn't know how to run the equipment, so this is all we got from Rupert. This is the last words we know.
You get to the point where you can go to the restroom anywhere. I tell people all the time, I like going out to the ocean.
Oh, man, this is great.
So Greg T didn't know how to use the equipment. So Greg T, Rupert, how was it?
You get to the point where you can go to the restroom.
So we never really knew what the hell Rupert was saying. We were hoping he'd be on the show. So
He's never sounded better. I actually.
Okay, so here's where we have to get to work.
Okay.
We are going to have our own Survivor here in the room, and we're all going to vote. Someone on this show is going to go home.
What?
Yeah,
You mean
okay.
for the day?
For the
Yes,
day.
for the day.
We're all voting for ourselves.
Yeah.
When's
Yeah,
next
this
week?
is a weird inverted game.
But
we're
it
playing.
actually is a positive. So whoever gets voted off actually wins because they get to go the hell home.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is final tribal. You're making your pitch about why you deserve to go home.
Well, I think we all know we just want to go home.
Yeah, we got a lot to do. We're leaving tomorrow
So
for LA.
is
we gotta
everyone ready
pack,
to?
you know.
Okay, so it's Elvis. Where is Greg T? Greg T is ready to go home. Here he is now, Greg T.
Oh, good God.
Lord, he's wearing his.
Oh, my God.
I didn't vote.
Wow. This, I wish we had video right now.
All right, have we all
This
voted?
is quite a sight of a man wearing a. I don't even want to look at what you're wearing.
It's a grass skirt.
Hello, Probst.
He's wearing a Survivor kerchief.
Does he speak English or is he native?
That's actually as close as he gets.
Okay.
And at least he doesn't have hairy nipples today.
Oh, right. Is that a moo-moo?
It's a.
Wow, it's quite a look.
He's wearing he's wearing a trash bag for pants. Look at that. There you go. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I just saw some crack.
Yeah. Oh Lord. And you can totally see through that very
Yeah.
sheer trash
I'm
bag.
ready, Probst.
All right, so okay, so it's
This is a first. Elvis, I gotta say.
here's who's
Never
voting
before.
the one and only Jeff Probst counts the votes. Elvis, Greg T voted, Bethany, Danielle, Froggy, who's in our Miami studio, Skiri, and Nate. One of us gets to go home. And you, as soon as your name is in it, well, you tell the rules.
Well, wait, but why wouldn't everyone just vote for themselves?
Well, I think
That was a rule that we said we're
We
not
said
going
Yo,
we
you
weren't going
can't.
to do it. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so and the minute we read the person who gets to go home, they
They
get to go
have
home.
to go home.
Okay.
All right.
Let's leave.
So here we go. Jeff Probst is reaching into the
First
mop
vote.
bucket.
Elvis.
Oh, that looks like Elvis's handwriting.
Keep score.
Next vote.
Next vote. Nate.
Yes.
All right.
That's one vote Elvis, one vote Nate. Next vote for the person going home, Bethany.
Oh.
One vote Elvis, one vote Nate, one vote Bethany. Several votes left.
It's like he does it on the game show. It's so cool.
We have a vote for Greg. Oh! That's one vote Elvis, one vote Nate, one vote Bethany, one vote Greg T.
Someone's so good at this.
Someone gets to go home.
Next vote, Nate. Two votes Nate. One vote Elvis,
Nate
one
may
vote
be going
Bethany,
home.
one vote Greg T.
Oh, Jeff, you're doing
Oh,
such
we got
a
a lot of votes left.
All right.
Nate.
Nate.
That is 3 votes Nate.
Wait, there's more votes than there are people voting.
Greg T. There's 3 votes Nate, 2 votes Greg T, 1 vote Elvis,
All
1
right.
vote Bethany.
Looks like so far Nate's going home. All right. And
Next vote, sorry. Danielle on the board with a vote.
it's Danielle's writing.
Greg T with 3 votes. We are tied. Nate with 3 votes. Greg T with 3 votes. How many are left?
A lot.
Oh, God. Okay. Greg T. That's 4 votes, Greg T. Greg T. That's 5 votes, Greg T.
Oh, now, come on.
5 votes, Greg T. 3 votes, Nate. Elvis. 2 votes, Elvis.
Come on. No, wait, there's more people voting than we're supposed to vote. I don't understand.
Nate, that's 4 votes, Nate. That's 5 votes, Greg T. 4 votes, Nate.
Now,
3
is
votes
this
left.
the popular vote or the electoral college? Which one is this?
Hold on.
3 left.
And it's not going to matter. Oh, it's not going to matter. This is for Nate. That's 5 for Nate. 5 for Greg T.
No.
6 for Nate. And 7 for Nate. The person going home right now. Nate, you're not straight.
No.
Get out of here.
No, wait. But wait. Hold on. Only 6 people were supposed to vote, and this is like 15 votes.
People have spoken.
No.
It's over. Goodbye, Nate.
They're all dead.
Is he really going home?
Yeah, you
That's awesome.
Jeff, congratulations,
jealous.
man.
Thank you.
Congratulations. It's so good to have you.
So fun to be here.
Oh, God, did my dog fart?
Oh, he might have.
Oh, Nate. Did Nate fart and leave the room?
Probably.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
Max, get away, Max.
Yeah, that's got a nice whip.
That is worse than any smell you're going to smell on the island. Great T, get your bare ass out of here.
Right.
Look, there he goes. Say goodbye, Jeff.
Oh, goodbye.
So celebrating 500 episodes
That's a commitment.
of Survivor. Truly, almost as long as The Simpsons. 34 seasons. Make sure you watch the 20 Game Changers of Survivor. It all kicks off next Wednesday.
next Wednesday.
On CBS.
Thanks for finally getting me in here. I've been trying to get into the show for years.
You're fabulous.
Thank you. You guys are too.
May I mention one more thing?
Yeah.
taylorsgift.org.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? This is an organization that Jeff is really, really, really into, and we should be talking about this because we love the thought of stopping down, thinking about what happens if, God forbid, you could be donating an organ.
Yep.
And I know I renewed my license the other
Yep.
day. I checked it off.
Yep.
And taylorsgift.org, it's the mission of which is to regift life through organ donation.
Yeah.
Please consider it.
Yeah.
Consider it. It's very important.
It's a very cool thing, yeah. Thanks for mentioning that.
We're going to put it up at elvisduran.com. taylorsgift.org. Check it out.
Awesome.
Jeff Probst, excellent.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming in.